Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys Board Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're coming to you with another Wednesday episode sponsored by our awesome sponsors, Grey Fox Games. So it's been another week, and we're back with more podcasty goodness.
Delicious.
Wholesome.
Filling.
Candy for your ears.
And just as garbage.
Yeah, just
Yeah, oh yeah.
same amount of nutritional value.
Yeah.
Basically none.
It's like food for your brain,
Indeed.
but it's junk food.
Yes. Empty calories.
Empty, terrible brain calories.
That popcorn that's just a little bit too stale.
I'll still eat it.
Yeah, I'll still eat it, but you know.
That describes our listeners. They eat stale popcorn.
Yeah. Or when you go to like Chipotle or Qdoba or any of those and you get some chips with salsa and you bite a chip and you're like, oh, it's a stale chip, but I want this queso.
This is just a means to get the queso inside me.
Exactly.
There are a few things worse than a just slightly too stale tortilla chip.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a little bit of give to them before they break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
I had Torchy's the other day. Their chips were real good.
Yeah, Torchy's is great.
Yep.
But I had a bad taco. It's like their brisket taco. I don't remember what it's called.
Huh.
But it was just absolutely oozing grease.
Ew,
like
gross.
it was poop. Like I could have filled a small jar of how much grease was like in the plate.
Was it, did you get corn or flour tortilla?
Flour.
Okay, so that would really soak it up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually sent it back so much that I was like, I really do not enjoy this taco. And they're like, we can understand that. Yeah.
You're not the first to tell us that, and
Yeah.
yet we've changed nothing.
Yeah.
and they give you another one that was fine?
I just got a different taco.
Okay,
Yeah. A different kind.
gotcha. You should have just been like, same thing, hold the grease, please.
Can you just like get a roll of paper towels and I'll
Yeah.
just roll the meat in them?
Yeah.
See-through. What was that Simpsons episode where was it Homer was trying to gain weight or bulk up, and like his system was like if you wipe it on anything and you can see through it, then you know like it's got enough fat in there so you can gain weight. And then they had like a crusty like fish burger or whatever. Fish sandwich, and they wiped it on the wall, and then the wall went clear. So much so
Nice.
that a bird tried to go through.
Nice.
I've never seen this, but that sounds brilliant.
Yeah, that's a classic. I don't remember if that's the one where he was trying to get disability by becoming like crazy fat.
Gotcha.
Gross. I'm thoroughly disgusted now.
You should
Yeah.
be.
I still kind of want Torchies, though.
Yeah, so this was like that taco.
Yeah. I
You can get torchies tomorrow.
might. I had a fajita today. It was delicious. Homemade.
Delicious
fajita.
fajitas.
Fajitas. They're my favorite.
I haven't had a fajita in a while.
I had one on Thursday when I went to the Mexican restaurant near my work.
Right
Okay.
on.
Whenever I go to Mexican, I'm always just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get this because it always smells. It smells great, and the appeal of something sizzling right in front of you, you're like, I know this was cooked. This was cooked now.
Right. It's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Hot.
Hot, some would say.
I could go for some okay Mexican food right now.
Yeah. Right.
Like I don't want good Mexican food, or I don't want classy Mexican food. I just want Mexican food.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
if you, there are some 24-hour Mexican
Yeah,
food places
that's
here.
definitely the kind of Mexican food I could go for right
Yeah.
now.
All right. All right. Well,
Good to know.
I mean,
Could go
Like
to
it-
Chubby's, maybe get yelled at
I have not been there.
for being in their neighborhood. That happened to Eric and I once.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. The cop was at the door, holding the door open for people. It's that kind of 24-hour place.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Real great neighborhood.
Yes.
Saturday was National Breakfast Burrito Day.
It was.
Yeah.
And I got 4 breakfast burritos.
Santiago's.
Yeah.
Santiago's.
I went there.
I got a t-shirt, too.
I got a visor.
Nice.
Me and some friends were going to Breckenridge, and we left at like 7:00 in the morning. And so I was like, hey, I'll go pick up some breakfast burritos for everyone. And I get to Santiago's and Arvada, and I'm like, why is there a line? Oh, it's breakfast burrito day. What does that mean? Oh, I only have to pay $1.25 a burrito. I'm glad that I was like, I'm gonna buy burritos for everyone.
Yeah.
That's kind
Here's
of
a 5 and some change.
Suckers, you thought I was doing this out of kindness of
Yeah.
my heart. It was
Yeah.
because they were cheap.
They were cheap, and I got a visor.
Yeah, I went just because like I didn't have any breakfast food here, and I know they're closed on Sunday. So
Was it because of my message, or did you already knew that?
No, I went at 5:00 in the morning.
Okay, all right.
Like I hit them up. Well, it was I left the
Because
house
they open
about
at
5.
6.
Drive-through opens at 5 for
Okay.
some of them,
Gotcha.
including the one on Federal that I used to go to a lot. So I take a slightly circuitous route out to work
Mhm.
to hit that up at like 5:30, and I was like, 4, please, 2 for today and 2 for tomorrow. And he was like, it's 9. So, oh wait, no, shit. And he's like, sorry, 4 and change or whatever. And I was like, what? And I was like, is it breakfast burrito day? He goes, yeah, you want a shirt? And I was like, yeah, I want a shirt. So very excited about it.
Really excited about food today.
Yeah. I had a falafel on for lunch on Saturday. It was great.
Nice.
Big food week.
Yeah. In other local news, it snowed. We haven't had a Denver weather update in a while.
Yeah.
It snowed on Thursday, like 4 inches. It was
No,
a good
it's
snow.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Thursday.
It was
It was Thursday.
Thursday.
It was Thursday.
Yeah, it was like
Oh yeah, it was right at the end.
started
Sorry,
like a little bit Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But then like
enough
it snowed all
enough
day
to cover
Thursday.
everything in ice.
Yeah, we had it set a record for the highest drop in October for us in a 24-hour period.
It's like 61,
64 degrees in Denver.
Because it was like mid to high 80s and then was just like, nope, 20
20.
something.
Yep.
Yeah. It was an impressive temperature
It
drop.
was.
Yeah.
It got real windy on Wednesday as that was moving.
There was an actual dust storm. Because
Yeah.
that wind is like, I gotta get in there now.
It was one of those like habobs, something that like Arizona gets a lot, and then
Yeah.
they had like in Mad Max, like the big
Uh-huh.
huge dust storms.
Yep.
Yeah. It was extremely windy.
It was.
It was real cool.
Yep. And then, unsurprisingly, that my 40 minute commute took an hour and 20 minutes. But then it took less time to leave work and come home because the snow was pretty much gone on the roads by then.
It made no sense how good traffic was in the afternoon. After there was like 100 accidents throughout the day.
I mean, I gotta assume that there are some people that are like companies are like, all right, we're letting you go early or something like that. So
yeah, or just people just didn't come in.
yeah.
Yeah, because it was crazy. And then Friday it was back to its normal madhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then it was back up to like mid 70s all weekend. Real nice
Yep.
weekend. So Denver doing crazy weather things.
that's what it does.
Yeah. My favorite little like thing that came from that snowstorm is it also snowed a lot up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And so on Friday,
Keystone announced.
Keystone was like, "Hey, we're going to open on Saturday."
And 2 hours later,
2 hours later, A-Base was like, "We're going to open it in an hour."
for 2 hours.
Yep.
Just so they could be like, we opened first, suckers.
Yep.
Keystone's earliest opening in 20 years.
Yeah, they've invested some snow machines.
Yeah. Well, and also some of it is it used to be that A-Basin was on the same pass. So they just let A-Basin be the early
Yeah.
one. And it was like, okay, that's on our pass. But now, like, to encourage people to be on the pass that Keystone's on, the Epic passes, they want to start opening earlier. So they were really cranking out snow machines.
Yep.
I'm sure the snow is not
blowers,
great.
snow makers, whatever the fuck they're called.
Right. But yeah. So that's the weather update.
Ant went up there.
Ant went up on Saturday.
I did not. I saw him today, but I did not hear how it went.
I thought about going up Friday for a little bit before we did the live stream because we were doing that at like 7. I was like, man, it's like 2:30. I'm getting out of work. I could probably drive the hour up to the mountains, ride for like 2 hours, and then
On
come
the
back.
White
just
Ribbon
in
of
time.
Death?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No,
I have been
that's
told
why
that I do
that's why
not
did
need to do that.
No,
Like,
there's no need to ever.
It's
do
only for people like Ant.
yeah.
But yeah, that was all of that.
Yeah, when we went up, so one of the reasons we went up to Breckenridge was to look at the like the aspens, and it looks like they had the leaves had changed their color last weekend, and then that 8 inches of snow they got just sort of wiped out all those leaves, and so we got up there and all the aspens are just bare, and we're like, damn it. So just got some crepes, really good
Crepes.
Banana Fosters. So it was really good.
Awesome. In other local news, I'm wearing my Broncos hat because the Broncos are on a 2-game winning streak
Ooh.
after shutting out the Titans. It's been a while since the Broncos had a shutout.
Who are the same record now, I think, 2-4.
Yes, they have fallen to 2-4, but they have one of the better defenses in the league, which explains why our offense is hot garbage today. And they're decent. They're another team like us. Like they've lost some games they probably should have won, and they've also had a decently tough schedule. But our defense looked real good today. We had like 6 or 7 sacks. It was awesome.
What was the final score?
Like
16-0.
Okay.
Yeah. We play the Chiefs on Thursday, so short week to play the Chiefs, who are on a 2-game losing streak.
Ooh.
They lost to the Colts, and then they lost today to the Texans. So, Broncos and Chiefs going in opposite directions.
Great.
Which I'm sure you're happy about.
I am very happy about.
I watched the Formula One yesterday.
Yeah, you were spoiling it.
Yeah. Well, it started at 11:10 p.m. our time because it was the Japanese Grand Prix.
Okay.
And I didn't even know it was happening. It was just like on at the bar I was at.
Nice.
I was just like, oh, it's Formula One. Oh, it's starting right now. Oh, yeah, that's right now. And I watched the whole thing.
Nice.
Because it's like 53 laps, and they're doing laps in like a minute 20.
Yep.
So
That's Formula One for you.
They finish pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It was the traditional, what it's been for like the last 3 seasons. Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. Ferrari had a front wing damage in turn 1 from someone going out that clipped them. They did a couple more laps with the broken front wing, but then they had to pit and got put into last. I think they fought back to 6th from that.
Gotcha.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I always find it funny for Formula One. It's like every year they're like, okay, all of these fucking things are now restricted.
Yeah.
And then and then people are like, all right, well, we just come up with these new things that are just as bullshit as those, but just slightly different. They're just like God.
Because there'd been so many accidents for refueling, now you have to contain all fuel you need for the entire race because there is no refueling at pit stops. It's only tire changes because they would be too dangerous with a fuel leak or something like that. And the fuel they use, if it ignites, is invisible. You can't see it.
Yep.
And so there's a famous video of this like pit crew guy like dancing around like he's on fire, but it doesn't look like anything.
Oh, shit.
It's super dangerous.
Because he was on fire.
He was on fire, yeah. I think and like weird stuff with like cameramen and things like that are like restricted in there now. Always different rules, but otherwise decent race. One of the other Red Bull guys retired partway through the race. So it was
like just pulled off and was like, no, I'm done.
Something probably broke in his car.
Yeah,
That's probably what it was. I didn't have sound, so I couldn't tell exactly what was
That's usually why they have, what, is it 2 drivers on that or 3?
Yeah, they're teams of 2.
Teams of 2, so yeah.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, it was Mercedes, Ferrari, Mercedes.
Sounds about right.
It's usually both Mercedes and sometimes both Ferrari.
Yeah.
But it was a fine race.
Cool.
I was talking with the bartender. The race that got me into Formula One was like the 2006 Montreal Grand Prix, or the Canadian Grand Prix it was called at the time. It had rained like fucking nuts and was an amazing race because someone went out into last and then came back and won the whole thing.
Nice.
Going all the way from last to first.
That's pretty crazy.
On the last turn, he got into first.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, that was very fun.
Yeah.
And apparently that's where I learned that the races have like an ultimate time limit. If they ever have a delay for rain, like this one did, like the race can just be like, we've hit our time limit for the race and that's it. That's the race. Like even if they're still racing, it's over.
And it's just like whoever's in first right now is in first.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Or is it like, oh no, this race is over and it didn't finish. No one wins.
Yeah. I had no idea that they would just be like, you have 6 hours to start and finish this race. And if you don't do that, you're fucked.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The rain got insane where they had to stop for like an hour and a half. But that makes the most interesting Formula One because the track is wet.
Yep.
Cool.
And no one died.
In a little over 3 years of podcasting, that's our first Formula One update.
Yeah. I haven't watched it as much in the last couple of years, but
Gotcha.
it was entertaining.
Cool. You guys get up to anything else last week?
Went up to Left Hand.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Good. That's the first time I'd ever been up there. They got a nice tap room. It's huge.
Yep.
They got a bunch of beers that they don't usually distribute. I've always liked their Nitro Milk Stout.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then they have a bunch of other crazy good beers up there.
Right on.
Left Hand's a good quality beer.
Yep.
There they are.
It's just
And affordable.
Yep. It's
Like
just
they're
way up there.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
is a
Longmont.
long drive.
It's like it's 50 minutes, I think.
Mhm.
For sure.
But yeah, affordable beer.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Zach? You get up to anything else besides your little weekend trip up to the mountains?
No, not that I know of.
To look at a bunch of leafless trees.
Yep, pretty much. No, I can't think of it. I don't think we didn't see anything this past week, right? No.
No, I
Okay.
don't
No.
think so.
Movie wise,
Movie wise, nope.
we've got the host.
Host and
the
Zombicide.
good,
yeah.
the host.
Yes. Bonju's the host.
The
is the host,
Snowpiercer guy.
Yep.
I have not seen any of his other movies, so I'm excited
Yeah.
to see them. And then Parasite, which is getting rave reviews
Mhm.
already.
That's
That's going to be end of October. Really
Yep.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think they're showing all of his movies over.
No, they're showing Snowpiercer in this. They otherwise it would be being like everybody who has eyes that can see movies needs to go see Memories of Murder.
I want to say, were
It's
they
a really good movie.
I have not heard of that movie.
I'm not surprised.
Were they? Yeah. Were they? I thought they were doing like where they showed all of them and then they were going to show the Parasite at the end.
Like a marathon.
Yeah,
thing?
but
Well,
I could be misremembering.
Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, yeah, but I would definitely be up for that. But yeah. I didn't see his Netflix movie,
Which I assume is
Okja
still
or whatever it was.
It's probably still on Netflix.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, in that case, let's move over to what we've been playing recently. I actually got to play games that weren't streams and game night games for the first time in a long time. I did play games at game night. I played another game of Cryptid. 2 games, technically. The first game we asterisked away because I messed up on my initial 2 negative clues.
As is the Cryptid tradition.
Yeah. But I won that one, and then we asterisked it because of that. And then I absolutely destroyed in the second one.
Wasn't it like 2 moves or something insane?
No, it was like, but it was fast. It was like 4.
4 rounds.
That was the one where Wes made like a random guess and he got 4 out of 5,
4
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a different
No,
one?
Wes was not playing with us at all. On
Okay, that was just another game of Cryptid.
Yes,
after
there were
that.
2 games
Okay.
of Cryptid going on at game night. But no, I felt really bad. Like it was 2 new players, and I taught them. 3. I don't think Megan had played before, and I felt like I really stomped them. I've played that game enough now that I'm getting pretty good at trying to like determine the different types of clues, because there's really not that many. Once you've played a few times, you can kind of start to really know what you need to keep an eye out for. And if you're new, then it just kind of looks like a bunch of information, and it's harder to parse.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate. Like I was hoping to get more mileage out of that one before I felt like I was starting to trounce newbies.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you. Yeah. I feel like that's something where a veteran of that would have a much better chance than someone new.
So we'll see. I mean, I still like it. I'll keep it around. And then I played something else, but I'm drawing a blank on what it was.
Was it Harry Potter?
Not at game night. I played something else at game night, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Played some Dutch Blitz, but I don't know. Anyway, games outside of game night, however, I've played a few different things. We did the live stream, which we'll all talk about later.
Why later, I guess?
Because I don't know. I didn't know how much you guys played, so I didn't want to like take one. If
that doesn't matter. It's fine.
Sure. So we streamed on Friday Stockpile. It was a 4-player game. Paul came and joined us on the stream. It was really 2 games of Stockpile.
Yes.
Paul and I played 1 game, and Zach and Jeff played an entirely different game.
Yep.
It was the first time that we've played with bonds and commodities as well.
I'd played with bonds before, but it was my first time playing with commodities.
Yes.
I think it was the first time I'd played with bonds.
Yeah.
That I'm at least aware of.
Bond,
Like a real early game.
We played with I feel like this is our first game where we like fully utilize bonds.
well, that's what I was gonna say, because this was the first game where I felt like bonds were actually like a useful thing.
Yes.
Where people had like 7 to 10 of them.
I had 11 at the end, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like the other time I played with bonds, it was like 2 or 3
Yeah.
bonds, and it was like I don't really understand the point of bonds.
Mhm.
Like $2 to $3 extra $1,000 doesn't usually mean anything.
But we understand now.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're there to let people who have more
Let the
than
rich keep getting richer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because if you have more than $25,000, then realistically, you don't like that's just money that's just hanging around doing nothing. So you invest it.
Yeah, you got
into
to put that
bonds.
money to work for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Because they all cash out at the end anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even doing it on the last round gets you an extra $1,000 per one. So why would you not do it if
Exactly.
you had the chance?
I thought the commodities were really interesting. It's another card that you get to kind of choose what pile it goes into that then gets bid for, and it's like a set collection game that's added into it. And I thought that was really interesting. Added a whole nother little layer of like, what cards do I put and where?
Especially because it had taxes with them, which are a -1. The more taxes you get, the more worse off you are.
And they pile up fast.
It's like 2,000 and then 6,000 and then 12,000 and then 20,000.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, it was a good stream. I got 3rd. I beat Paul in our game on this side of the table, and
You had like it was like 151,000 and then like 160,000.
162.
Okay.
And then Jeff was 262, and you were like
254.
Yeah.
Which, after playing the game, I realized there were 2 things I did that I could have brought me 6,000 closer, but that means I would have lost by 2,000. So I'm almost glad that I lost by 8,000.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. I continue to really like Stockpile. I'm expecting any day now a shipping notification or for it to maybe just show up on my door the latest Kickstarter for it.
I know. I would like to try out that new expansion.
Yeah. They said it delivers in October. October's the expected delivery.
I saw.
so.
Oh, okay. I saw November on the.
Oh, maybe it was November.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else that was October.
Which every time I see this November, I'm so mad that I didn't grab the Gen Con pickup because I was there. I saw them and I was like, oh, look at that. I'll get mine because I thought it was coming in October or so, like that. And
womp, womp, womp. Yeah. So Stockpile was real good.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yep.
And I won.
Yes.
Jeff won, and wasn't Jeff's normal win
was,
by a mile.
Exactly.
It was actually a close win.
I mean, I did crush you two.
Yep.
Well, Paul and
Yeah. If you ignore me, then you crushed everybody,
Yes.
Jeff.
Then later on in the week, I came home from work and Megan had Harry Potter, the deck builder, Hogwarts Battle, all set up. We got the expansion a little while back, and we've been very, very slowly playing through the 4 expansion scenarios in the Monster Book of Monsters. And so she had the 4th one all set up, and we played that one. Thought we were going to lose hard at first. We got really kind of unlucky with the way the villains came out. There was a bunch of creatures, and they were all like, for every creature in play, this happens. And it was like, great, there are 3 creatures in play. So like, we're taking 6 damage before every turn even starts and things like that. But we managed to kind of get through it. And then we hit a point where it's like, okay, we're definitely going to win now. We just have to like get through it. And eventually we did, and we won. So we've now beat every scenario in the base game and in the Monster Book of Monsters expansion. I think there's another expansion out now, or maybe about to come out.
I feel like there wasn't one announced for that yet.
Okay. So looking forward to getting another expansion. The next thing we want to do is there is a rule for playing a epic campaign with like everything. And so we kind of want to set that up and play through that maybe over like multiple days because it would probably take a while.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, you have to fight like 5 Voldemorts.
Pass.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I also got to play last night after I got home. Jeff and I were going to do a stream of War of the Worlds, but our schedules didn't really work out, which then worked well for me because the kayaking couple that I do D&D with, it was the husband's birthday. And so he was like, hey, we're going to have some friends over for some drinks and some games. You want to come by? And I was like, yeah, I'll swing down there for like an hour. And I went down and they had a game that I'd never heard of from like 2015 called, I have it pulled up here. Space Team. No, not Cards Against Humanity. Space Team. And they're pulling it out and like Maren, the wife of the couple, she was like, yeah, I really want to hear your thoughts on this, like afterwards, you know, like from an actual reviewer who like knows actual games, like what you think of this, because it's completely ridiculous. And so I was expecting like, you know, a Munchkin or a Killer Bunnies, like it seemed very, like the way they were talking about it seemed like it was going to be like a ridiculously bad game. Turns out this is a ton of fun, and I am definitely going to get a copy. Essentially, you're all teamed up together, and you're trying to rebuild your spaceship before you die. It's another timed game, kind of like Fuse and stuff. So it has an app that has a 7-minute timer that plays music that gets increasingly like fast-paced, like you're about to die, you're about to die. Then you get a pile of obstacle cards in front of you, in which you take the like most of the deck. Depending on what difficulty they were playing completely wrong. They were just taking everything and smashing it together, which makes it crazy fucking hard.
Gotcha.
But you it's got the 6 pieces of the ship in there, and then it's got a bunch of obstacle cards that when you flip them over, it's whatever the obstacle is, and then what you need to fix it. And they show it in one of 3 ways. There's types of tools, the image of a specific tool, or the name of a specific tool. And then you have a hand of tool cards. You start with like 6 each. And so you're yelling around the table like, I need the sonic defibrillator and I need the tool that looks like an alien hairbrush. And like yelling around the table, and people can't pass it directly to you. You have to pass it to the person adjacent who has to pass it and pass it and pass it. And then there's like other cards that come up that are like, all right, everybody change seats. Or like the floor is lava. And then so somebody will get the floor is lava, and then somebody will get change seats. And so you have to all change seats without touching the ground. Or like you'll get ones where it's like everybody has to put their finger in the center and say like 3, 2, 1 pull before you can continue. And so it's just frantic, hectic, yelling around a table shenanigans. But it was a lot of fun. The cards were really high quality. The art style was great. They had there's a After Dark expansion or an adult expansion that's like it's easily one of the best implementations I've seen of that, because like if you are an adult and you know that it's an adult expansion, you're looking at the cards looking for adult things, you can definitely see like, oh, that's clearly a weird dildo toilet contraption, or like, oh, that's definitely a double-ended vibrator, or like those two people are clearly having sex. But it's done in a really abstract art style where like if you're not looking for that and not paying attention, you won't even notice. So I really appreciate it. And the names of like the erotic like tools you need, the After Dark tools are like the greasy.
Ooh, it was don't like that already.
We've had enough grease talk.
It was like
already.
a greasy shaft or something, and it was like it's clearly a dildo.
Ugh.
But like the name it's just slightly gross. But it was a bunch of fun. I really enjoyed playing it. We played a few rounds at 7 minutes each, so we played like 3 or 4 rounds. Actually managed to win one of them despite playing with every fucking card in the deck. It was hectic and crazy and frantic, and I had a lot of fun with it. So.
I had heard of this game. I think we've talked about this game at one point. It may or may not have.
May very well have.
It was, I think, a Kickstarter.
Yes.
But there was plans in the past for me to play this game with some other people, but then that never happened. So.
Yeah. I was really impressed. Like I said, the card shuffled so nice. Like it was a big, thick deck, like probably 2 to 3 playing card decks, and you could shuffle it real easily. Yeah. It was nice. I liked the card quality a lot. Last game we all played together that I'll bring up here as we transition over. We played some Betrayal Legacy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We got together for another game of Betrayal Legacy. We're not going to spoilers any of the actual like haunt or anything from this one.
It continues to be the best version of Betrayal there is.
Definitely does. Although for me personally, this was of the 4 now that we've done. Mm-hmm. This one was the least interesting. From like a haunt perspective, I didn't feel like it really did anything.
I think it was introducing certain mechanics that will probably come more later.
Yes, definitely.
But it was still a lot of fun. Jeff ended up as the traitor.
Yes.
And
also the first time that the traitor hasn't won.
Yep. Yeah, the survivors.
Or the haunt hasn't won.
The haunt hasn't won. And I finally got my first time not dying. It was my first time not dying.
No, this was the only time
that everybody but Zach had died in every game until this one.
Yep.
And everyone actually survived this one, even the traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I got the deed to the house because I took the last turn in the game, basically.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where like there's a few things that came up in this one. Like at one point it was like, do this thing, and we were like, that's a thing? Like, it's like, so I'm excited to see where some of that stuff goes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or like things that got introduced right at the end of the previous one, like had a little bit of payoff. Like, here's what you now do with that.
Yeah.
So.
I just hope it doesn't get too bloated.
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
I don't think it will. I'm looking forward there to start being a little bit more, especially like the omens. Like our omen deck is tiny right now. And so
3 in
which
there,
granted the base game is like 13, so it's not like the omen deck's always small, but I would like it a little bit.
I think
more
it's pretty
variety.
limited in this stage how many different haunts you can even get.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
But the book has 50. Like, you can.
Well, and like it looks like once you finish this,
it'll just be a really good version of Betrayal.
Yeah, and you can play any of these. I would assume any of these haunts as just free play. So,
that was a lot of fun.
There was a lot of card destruction stuff, so it'd be weird how the end game really works with all these.
It seems like
cards.
Any of the destruction is not related to the base game of Betrayal.
Yeah, so the destruction tended to be like, so in this one there was a destruction, and it was clearly like, if the heroes win, you destroy the successful thing for the haunt winning. If the haunt wins, you destroy the other. Like, it was a binary choice.
I was thinking it's more of those like event cards and item cards that have the boxes.
Oh, yeah.
But I think even most of those, you don't, even when they're all checked, I don't think a lot of them you destroy. They just have a different effect.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. And some of that might just be so that when it's at the very end, the deck is a manageable size.
Yes, I can understand that, yeah.
We got to keep pulling some as we keep adding some to keep it reasonable.
That crossbow, though, it's going to be around forever.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Really know what I didn't
Especially because nobody finds it.
Yeah. It's my crossbow, God damn it.
You found my glasses.
I did. I also found a spoon. A spoon.
A spoon.
To say a spoon.
Yes. Very specific use.
Yep.
But yeah, so very game-filled week for me. What about you guys? Jeff, what did you get to play?
I mainly played stuff at game night and then the live stream. At game night, I started with Bargain Quest, which Lance had gotten from Renegade at Shucks, I think.
Okay.
It wasn't something super new, but it was enjoyable. Each player is a shopkeep, and it has a card drafting system, and you're trying to lure heroes into your shop. And then the heroes will have different classes, and then the items will have various relations to those classes. So you put an item up in your display window that has a certain amount of hearts. Whoever has the most hearts, or if there's a tie, whichever item is more expensive, will get to draft a hero first of that type of class. They'll come into your store, they have a certain amount of money, but they can't buy the thing in the display window. You have to have your drafted cards, and then you can sell them as much as you want. Then they go off and fight the monster. You get a endgame victory point for dealing damage to the monster, surviving the monster's attack, and then certain ones will have bonus victory points. Like if you do both, you get an additional one. Or if you equip them with a certain item of a certain cost, you can get an extra victory point. And then you just do that a bunch until you get through all three monsters, who get slightly harder. And then you count up victory points at the end. It was okay. There was a deck that we forgot to use / air quotes. But it adds random combat modifiers and everything, so it can give you like +2 attack, -1 defense, -1 defense, -1 attack, or +3 attack, and just a whole bunch of others, or like discard an item, and like you're only equipping with 1 or 2 items. Like discarding an item is like, well, now I'm not getting anything.
Okay, that sucks.
We didn't play with that, and Lance was like, "Oh, I forgot this deck," and I looked at it and I was like, "This should never be a thing in this game."
It's like the Game of Thrones Tide of Battle cards.
Yeah,
okay.
like like I have made this strategy, and I will get even here, and I'll be a minus here, but whatever. And those cards will just be like, oh, now I just don't get both, or now I get the defense and I don't get the attack. And like, there's little bonuses on some of the really bad ones, but and sometimes there's really good bonuses on like good ones. And I was glad we didn't use those because it was just a whole random bullshit element that game didn't need.
Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah. So Bargain Quest was okay. The art was nice.
Okay.
After that, we played Team 3. Lance had also brought this. There's a pink box and a green box. It is not an easy game to describe.
I think my favorite thing about this game, before you try to describe it, is Zach's description of, I think you tweeted it out, where Team 3 might be the most fun, or might be more fun to watch than to play, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Yes.
So like that was my first primer to Team 3 and what Team 3 actually was.
Yep.
So it's a 3-player game. You have an architect, a builder, and another interpreter. Yeah. It's represented by like the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkey hands.
Yep.
Except there's no mechanic for not being able to hear in the game.
Okay.
Well, there is only through the sense of the person that can't talk.
Yeah.
So the other person can't hear them. And so it's in that respect. But
so one person can see a card that can't talk, but can mime to a person that can see the mimer and can talk to the person who can't see and has to build the structure.
And it's a 3D structure, or at the very least, you're stacking them on top of each other.
Vertically.
Yeah.
And so one person is miming, one person is trying to describe the miming to the person building that can't see. And it is a lot of fun.
Yes. It's and there is a 3-minute timer on this too. So
we didn't play with the 3-minute timer a lot, especially when we first started.
Yeah.
But the game gets pretty nuts. We were playing mainly with level 1s. There was a couple. I think someone did a level 2.
I did a level 2. I was the builder, and I think I was the mimer.
Yeah. I was
architect. There we go.
Yes. I think I did all 3.
Mm-hmm.
My miming ability was pretty good. My descriptive ability I thought was better than what was happening with the person I was describing to.
Yes.
Because it was a lot of like, you keep turning it in a way that you cannot build something. Like you have like a 2D plane that you're building up, but he kept turning them like 90 degrees so they would be perpendicular to the line that you're supposed to be building on. I was like, stop doing that. You literally can't do that in this game.
Or it would be like you want to flip it on the y-axis or on the x-axis, but he would then also flip it with the y. So instead of it just being a mirror, it would then be like it would be a turn
upside
and
down and backwards.
Yes.
And it was just like, no, don't do backwards, just upside down.
Yes.
But it was a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ones that get real hard so they're cubes. They're like Tetris pieces. Everything's made out of squares.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them will rest, like there's a W piece, but it will rest like as a W. So
it'll be at an angle.
At an angle.
Instead of orthogonal.
And then you're building this whole thing off of that.
Oh,
and
wow.
balancing pieces.
Yeah.
And
there are 10 pieces in the game
Yep.
that it comes with. The level 1, you only use 4 to 5. The level 2, you use like 8 or so.
Yeah.
And then level 3 uses 10, and you're placing things at angles. And it doesn't look like it's always at angles too. So
yeah, and certain ones can and can't use that. Even level 1s have the angle stuff in them. It's just not common.
So the reason why there's 2 boxes, right, is there's the green one and the pink one, is they each have their own little variant in there. The pink variant is basically 3D. And what it means is that there is a picture that there's a picture of what you need the other person to build, but it can only be built in like a 3D plane. So it's like the pink one, which is like a cross, like there's only one, you only see one square of it.
So it's coming in from behind.
It's coming in from behind.
And so that one does use the like off angle.
But you don't care. You just need to see, if you're looking at it straight on, you need to see whatever the image the architect is seeing.
Yep.
So the architect has to interpret this 2D plane into a 3-dimensional shape that they then have to mime to the other person.
Yes.
Okay.
The other one, the green box.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's using both halves of your brain.
Yep.
Because you have 2 different architects. One for your left hand, one for your right hand. So you're blind listening to 2 people tell you how to build 2 different structures, one with the 5 unique pieces, the other with the 5 other unique pieces. So you're building 2 structures at the
and
same
you can
time.
only use your left
Holy
hand for the
shit.
left side and the right hand for the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're both fairly simple, but that seems difficult.
Yes.
Or entertaining.
Yeah.
One of the 2. And then there is a 3-on-3 competitive mode where it's supposed to be the same people, the same architects looking at the same card, telling their 2 different teams how to build, and whoever builds it first wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Kind of like, I don't know, Codenames-esque.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, Team 3 was a ton of fun. Look forward to playing
It
more Team 3.
sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
I
It
wanna
would
play
be one good for us to do on here, I think.
Yeah.
Just for someone to watch it, just to be like, to have you be the builder, Adrian, and then people are and we're just like, Adrian, no, you're fucking
No, stop turning it like that way that it can't.
Yeah.
Although
And it would
for the seeding, I think it'd make sense for me to be the interpreter, one of you to be the architect, and
Well,
one of
it
you to
swaps.
be the builder.
I mean, it would have to swap around.
it swaps around.
Yeah.
It'd just be weird for Jeff to try to interpret Zach as they sit next to each other, or
No.
vice versa.
Interpret this, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks.
Interpreted.
Got it.
Right on.
After that, and Paul wanting to keep playing the competitive mode, I stopped playing and went and played Polarity. And Polarity
Yeah, I saw this.
is a magnetic,
Bullshit dexterity game.
not bullshit dexterity. It's more like strategic
Bullshit
magnet
physics game.
placing.
Every balancing dexterity game is a bullshit physics game then.
But I mean, this one doesn't have any dexterity to it. It's all about the physics part.
Yeah, you're just, I mean, you're very delicate trying to place all of these pieces, but there's no real bullshit part to it. Like, if you fucked up, it was because it was like Crokinole. It was like Crokinole bullshit dexterity game.
Yes.
Because he's bad at it.
Because you're bad at it.
No, Crocodile's probably not a bullshit
Yeah.
dexterity game, but like any balancing dexterity game, I still call like Men at Work a bullshit dexterity game,
Yeah, that's more of a bullshit dexterity game, though, than this is.
just because you're still trying to very finely balance little pieces. with like all kinds of weird variables that are going to make them fall and not
Yeah, but
fall.
it's variables that you can't see.
Exactly, which makes it even more bullshit, I think.
No.
But you can feel it.
Yes.
Can you though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really feel the slight tug of magnetic difference
Yes.
between
Yeah.
one fall and one.
100%. So you have black and white sided magnetic pieces. Each side starts with like 22, 24. And then you have to put out 3 and 3. And then you just go back and forth placing your pieces until you're out of pieces or one opponent is out of pieces. And then you add up the score. So you're trying to magnetically levitate your pieces adjacent to your others, because if they ever attach to them, the piece will, on your opponent's turn, they can flip that over, and that becomes their points.
Okay.
So it's a lot of balancing magnetically
Yes.
around all of these slowly growing pillars of magnetic death. It was a lot of fun. I got some really interesting balancing because it's all magnets on some of these big stacks where it's almost like 90 degrees that this piece is sitting because it's just invisibly floating up against this big tall pillar, which makes it hard for anyone else to place around it because they're very delicate. Even just the little magnetic pull of the piece they're trying to put down will pull it over, and I get some flip points.
Bullshit dexterity part.
I wouldn't call it bullshit, though.
So much random variables.
You should stop whispering.
So many random variables. Was your favorite part when I went to put games back in
Yeah,
Zach's?
you fucking dick. You had 2 20-ounce steins, and we have this, like, delicate game, and then you just fucking clunk them right next to the table. And I was like, holy shit, what are you doing? Like...
Not paying attention.
Yeah. And that's when I had, like, the multiple, like, almost vertical pieces on the board. Thankfully, nothing moved.
Nope.
Because there is rules for that, and that would have fucked us.
Definitely it would have been interesting to hear that your guys' table, if Adrian did that and like everything just collapsed into one giant piece.
Well, we've cleaned the game up, I
Yes.
guess. We played a 2-on-2 variant. It's basically just taking turns in between.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. Cool. The little playmat was folded for a significant long time because it's apparently a fairly old game. I think Mike Jones had rented it from the
Wizard's Chest
or something. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
in their library, and he had brought it from them.
Okay.
That center cloth that you play on could use some ironing
Okay.
because there was definitely some divots in there that you could balance pieces on strategically.
I mean, that's
So they
just,
wouldn't
that's part
fall
of the game
over.
space right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Polarity was a ton of fun.
It looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else for you, Jeff?
No, I think that's that.
Right on. What about you, Zach? What did you play that we haven't already discussed?
The only thing I played that wasn't already mentioned was Raptor. It's a 2-player asymmetrical game where one person is a team of scientists trying to capture these baby raptors to study them, and this other person is the mama raptor trying to kill all those scientists for stealing their babies. I played as the scientists, and it has a really cool card play mechanism. Have you played it, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay. Like each person has their deck is like 9 cards. It's 1 through 9, and they each have different abilities on them. And then each person plays one of their cards simultaneously, and then whoever is the lowest number gets to do the action on the card, but whoever's the highest number gets to do amount of generic actions equal to the difference between the two. So if I play the 8 and you play the 9, then I get to do the 8 action, which is a very good action, and you only get 1 action. But if I play the 1 and you play the 9, I do my action, and then you get to do 8 actions, which can be a lot.
Yes.
Especially if the other person is the dinosaur or is the raptor, because the baby raptors and the human scientists can only move 1 space at a time, right? And it's all orthogonal, and it's very, there's rocks in the way, and you have to, like, you can block people in from trying to get around.
Right.
Like the raptor can move for 1 speed or 1 movement, 1 action. There we go. It can move in a straight line any amount of spaces until it doesn't want to move anymore. So that thing can run all around the map, just eating up people. And it's where scientists are trying to be strategic with fire and sleeping darts to shoot the mama, and you're trying to knock out the baby raptors and then capture them. And then it just becomes a race between the raptor player who wants to have 3 of their baby raptors escape, or just kill all the scientists on the board, right? Or if you are the scientist, you want to capture 3 baby raptors, or completely trank the mother, in which case we can grab the babies at our whim because she's asleep.
Yeah.
Probably give her a couple of good kicks too, I would assume.
Just right in the ribs for eating your colleagues.
Yeah. Here's for George, kick. And it was very close. Allison had 2 freed raptors, and I had just gotten the 3rd baby raptor captured. We were playing one rule wrong, and that baby raptors and scientists cannot, once they've been knocked down, you can't get them up on the same turn.
Okay.
Which didn't affect the final winning move, but I believe at one point I did, because the mama raptor can like frighten scientists, and then it takes an action for them to get up. I think at one point I used that when she scared them, but I don't remember if it was to grab a raptor or not. But I feel like she also used a baby raptor. I tranked it, and then she got it back up to move it out of the way from letting me capture it. So, who's to say what exactly went down? But but it's a lot of fun. I like it. It's a cool little 2-player game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the one time I played Raptor. I would like to play it more. I've definitely been on the receiving end of being the scientist and doing that. Like, I played my 1 and you played a 9, and now you get to do 8 Raptor actions, and this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, no. When she did that to me, I had to play a 2 in order to get dudes out on the board, because if I didn't, then she would be able to kill my last scientist, and then I would lose. And it's like, all right, well, I have to play this too. And then her 9 came out, and I was like, oh, that was one. I knew there's a chance I was going to be a card in her hand. This is going to hurt. So I was like, I'm going to put him away from her. So yeah, it's cool. It's some interesting mechanisms in it. So
for sure. Cool.
That's it.
That's it for you?
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up all of what we've been playing then. There's no Bloody Minute this week. Should be back next week.
A game will be played this Wednesday.
Okay.
But I do have Blood Bowl to talk about.
Uh-oh.
So the new Lizardman release came out, along with the Lizardman new star players and team box, and then the new Blood Bowl coaches handbook thing.
Yeah.
That is that had a whole bunch of all NAF approved all over it, which I'm sure they didn't even talk to the NAF about it in any way, shape, or form.
Definitely.
Oh, of course not.
It has a laughable amount of typos that they'll have to release an errata for. The War Dancers move 7 in the listing. Human ogres can get mutations, which only the Chaos ogres can do. And maybe, as far as I'm aware, that's it.
I want them to just be like, oh, fuck you. No, this is how it is now. This is just how it is.
I wouldn't hate for War Dancers to get the nerf that they deserve.
Yeah.
They're 120K, so they're pretty expensive already, but they're also one of the best players in the game, period. Right. The new skink, new chameleon skink is officially launched now with the new Spike rulebook. It won't be in for this season for us, but future seasons will be able to use the chameleon skink. It's 10K more. It loses a move, but it has shadowing and pass block as its skills.
Is that worth it?
No.
Okay.
Pass block is you get 3 free moves, but you still have to make dodge rolls when someone declares a pass. So it's kind of like free movement.
Okay.
But and then shadowing is if someone moves away from you, you roll 2d6, and then you minus their remaining move, and if you roll over a 7, you can freely follow into their space they just left, and you can keep doing that until you fail.
Okay.
I could see how that would be good with diving tackle.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
if they successfully dodge away, if you successfully shadow, the next time they dodge away, you can still use your diving tackle to give a -2 to their roll.
Okay.
But -1 move on the skink is not great. And pass block is I don't know if I've ever played against anyone that has pass block.
Could you see having just one of these to do that, to try and mark those?
That's because I do put diving tackle on skinks, but losing a move for shadowing and pass block is
Not great.
not great.
Yeah.
But that could be used.
I mean, it seems like this is just one of those more situational ones. And so that's what I meant. Like, you just have one.
Yeah. Well,
but
yeah, because I mean, I do have skinks with diving tackle that do that, so it would be interesting. But we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. I went and picked up the handbook, read through it. It breaks out the inducements so people aren't confused anymore.
That's good.
That's good.
Because everyone was like, oh, I can just use. So this star player is 210, but I only have 190 inducements. I can just spend 20K out of my gold bank to be able to make up that 20K difference, right? Because that's how Blood Bowl 2 on the PC works.
Oh, okay.
That is not how League or tabletop Blood Bowl has ever worked. But so many people have come from Blood Bowl 2 into tabletop, and Ant has had to deal with that quite often.
I'm sure.
The new rulebook has specifically laid out exactly how petty cash and inducements now work. Thankfully.
Okay.
But it's nice having like all the rules in like a nice handbook type size. It's not very big.
Yeah.
And then it has all the rosters and star players and stuff in there. But it has all those fucking errors. So who knows what the actual stats are supposed to be at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it came with it basically came with everything you needed to play, because it came with the pass ruler and the scatter thing and the out of bounds thing, and then a ton of actually really useful tokens if you didn't have them already. Nice reroll tokens, like bonehead tokens, bribe tokens, just every token I could think of that I would want to have like in my dugout to be able to mark stuff.
Right on.
So it'll be nice for like stunned or prone big guys. I can just put that token down instead of having to lay the huge giant
like
foot tall model over on its side.
I've seen people like have their like third party ones that do that.
Yep.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the cardboard tokens I will definitely use
Nice.
instead of my old third edition like reroll and turn markers.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Right on.
And the new lizard dice look nice.
Fair enough.
And Total Escape didn't order any of the new lizard team though. Like they were like, "Oh, I didn't see that you could order the new team," and I was just like, "Oh."
Weak sauce.
So I went and ordered it on Minish Market.
Yep. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Game Wednesday. Dark Elves, 6s and 7s, they're going to get a fuckload of inducements. They got bashed up real bad in their previous game. So
Yeah. Okay.
fingers crossed.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Well, I think with that, we're ready to move on into news and Kickstarters.
Yes.
Starting with some news.
As is the tradition. Ars Technica has released another interesting article for anyone that loves Ticket to Ride. They went through and ranked like 19 different Ticket to Ride maps.
Yeah,
from like worst to best.
It's solidly ridiculous here.
And then they wrote a nice article of like, or a paragraph for each one of like why it's good or bad or not.
Yeah.
It starts with the expresses.
This was one where like I started going, like I was trying to skim through it, and like every time my cursor got to the bottom of the like scroll bar on the side, it just loaded the next section of the article, and it was like, how long does this article go on? But yeah, it does. It starts with all the expresses at the top.
I feel like you would know because it starts with a 17, then goes to a 16. So I feel like that would tell you that's how far down it goes.
Yeah.
Well, because I was very rapidly scrolling, because it was less that I was actually looking over the article. I was checking to make sure that the image on the stream would actually scroll and show everything appropriately. And so I was just trying to get to the bottom, and it just like it kept going and kept going. I haven't looked through all of them. Like I said, I wasn't really super paying attention, so I don't know all of them. And like
there's a bunch I didn't know existed. That's for sure.
There are so many of these maps. It is out of control. In fact, I don't think I've played, unless the ones I've played have all been like great ones. Oh, I mean, never mind. I was thinking of some Power Grid maps. I definitely have only played a handful of.
Yes.
Yeah, I've only played, I think Europe and just America.
I never even.
Europe is number one. Spoiler alert for
Yes.
everybody trying to look through the list. Europe is number one.
I never knew that they made a Ticket to Ride just for the Netherlands.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Of Colorado itself.
Yeah, I believe Kaiser has that one.
Yes. The Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to believe the article, the Netherlands.
Yeah.
There is a area in Colorado, Netherlands.
I think most people here call it Nederland.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. USA, the traditional
like
map
pronouncing
is
things
4.
weird.
Yeah, like lions.
Lions or not Buena Vista.
Buena Vista.
Buena Vista.
Buena Vista.
Lyman. Pueblo.
I've never heard anybody actually say it Pueblo. It like anybody who does is like intentionally mispronouncing it.
Apparently, so I've played Europe before, but I think everyone has because that one is been extremely available. Like if there's ever Ticket to Ride, there's Ticket to Ride Europe like right next to it on every store shelf I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But India, I haven't. That's what they have listed at number 2.
Yeah. Even Germany at number 3, I don't think I've actually seen.
I've heard the German one's good.
Yeah, I guess India, it's easier to make like a loop around the country, and you can get a bunch of bonus points for making like a big circle around there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're really into Ticket to Ride, they've ranked all the maps.
The US one ranks number 4.
Yeah.
The classic.
Next up on news.
There is a really good dev diary over on BGG for Porto, which is a cooperative city building game that reminds me of that card game we played at DBC Arvada once.
What? All right, wait. Are you talking about Walking?
Yeah.
Burano?
Yeah.
The one that V
Yes.
Did you guys play? Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't play that one.
Yeah, I've not ever played that one. But yeah, so this is kind of it's a designer diary of from the designer Orlando Sa, who I'm not familiar with. And this game was it's going to be like releasing premiering at Essen, and it's just kind of a designer diary of the process of making Porto and like where the idea came to him and how he kind of refined it. And it's a Portuguese designer who lives in Porto and was there while I was working on it, and kind of talks about his epiphany of like, oh, if it's going to take place in Porto, it has to be along the river. If it's going to be along the river, it's got to be the colored houses. Oh, we're building houses. Like, okay, well, how can that incorporate different mechanics and stuff? It's got a lot of photos of like the different prototype levels and everything like that all through here. Talks about like what he wanted his design to be and how he achieved that, and just kind of the whole path to making this game. So yeah, if you're interested in that, go read through. It's a good little read
into the madness that is board game design.
Right. Like that's a question I get occasionally, is like less and less from people who are like in the industry, but especially like, people who are just very casual board gamers, and they find out that I run a game night and I do a board game podcast and all this. They're like, do you ever like want to make a game? And no, the answer is so firmly no.
I also often get that question. Also in the brewery world, it's like, oh, I work at a brewery. Oh, do you brew beer? And I was like, no, I don't do that. There's like 4 people that do that.
Right.
Oh, you're an accountant? Oh, do you want to do my taxes? No, I don't. First of all, I hate doing my own taxes. And 2,
which is why I don't.
Yeah, I don't know how to do anything beyond my taxes.
It's like, yeah, there's like 30 other people that don't brew beer there that also make beer.
Right? Yeah. So, but yeah, so cool little designer insight into Porto if you want to check that out. Next up over on news.
Loot Crate went bankrupt not too long ago. Everyone remembers those, right?
Yep. Yes.
So apparently it has been bought out with a partnership from WizKids and some other group, and they have created a new Loot Crate, which is a crowdfunding system called Loot Launcher.
Yep. So not a whole lot of information here. It's just a quick little blurb.
If you follow the link in the article, it takes you to where the loot launching is happening.
Yep. And how not funded most of these things are.
Yeah, I think it's either brand new or just not gotten out there very much. Like, they're all just like little campaigns similar to Kickstarter, where it's like 11% to goal, 35 days left. The only reason this is in board game news is because it was bought by WizKids, and then there's like a WizKids board game crate.
Yeah.
Which you can just get like 2 games for $30. But who knows what Nightmare Games.
Yeah, I would never want to get anything that's like, hey, give me $30 and I'll get you 2 games. I've played enough games to know that there are a lot of games I don't like.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But they do have a lot of like weird, I don't know, just like movie quality figures and stuff like that
Yeah.
on there. There's like a Gremlins dress up and play figure.
Yeah. The Kid Robot Kaiju Battle Set that's $200 and shockingly only 1% funded.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a thing. You can go look at it.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that sort of thing.
Wiz Kids once again on the
Yeah.
pulse of the community of what we want.
Sure.
Yeah. And
Sure,
just
sure,
stay
sure.
stay tuned to hear from us
Shit,
when
they've
this
got
has
a
gone
Dungeon
bankrupt.
Master's crate.
Huh?
Yeah. Wiz Kids Dungeon Master crate. An assortment of miniatures for your latest campaign. It's only $30.
It's only 12%. So
You can make that 13%.
I might. I have to come back to that one.
$60 worth of pre-painted miniatures and exclusive content. So how much are D&D pre-painted miniatures from Wiz Kids or whoever sells them?
See, that's what I'm nervous. If I don't know whose they are. Like some.
I mean, Wiz Kids has
David has a shitload of, and I know Wes has a shit, like some of those pre-painted, like who are those from?
Wes's are a lot of random shit. Like
Okay.
some of them are like Star Wars stuff that he's gotten from random places. I don't know where some of his are actual D&D ones.
Are they like licensed from D&D, I guess is what I'm saying. Like who makes those?
I think Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm not sure. Yeah. But like, so there are some in Wes's collection that 60 of those for $30.
$60. Yeah, exactly. That's
So Wes does confirm he's here in chat. Wizard of the Coast makes a lot of his D&D ones.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. I might look into it more. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, also with only 12% funded.
Yeah.
And I didn't see. Did it say anywhere? Are they more like Kickstarter or more like?
Like the P500 thing.
Well, or who's the other like crowdsource thing?
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. So Indiegogo, because you can choose like you get whatever you raise. Whereas Kickstarter is always you have to at least meet the goal.
I don't know.
Only be charged when it reaches the goal. So it's Kickstarter style.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all just Wiz Kids pocket money at this point.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. That's Loot Launcher. Check that out if that sounds interesting to you.
Last up in news this week, the publisher Exploding Kittens, who is responsible for publishing all of those oatmeal games that are more than just Exploding Kittens, but that's the name of the publisher.
Yep.
It was their first one. They didn't know any better.
Yeah. You got a hot cash injection.
Cash injection from TCG Capital Management has invested $30 million
Yeah.
into this insane board game thing that continues to be not all that great games.
Right. They're going to supposedly use the money to develop more games, expand the IP into live events and other formats, build out its team, and control more of its own production and distribution.
I bet a lot of that's going to go to Burning Cat. That is supposed to be happening in
May.
This is why
Portland?
Burning Cat exists, probably.
But I mean, all those Kickstarters make a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
They have an Amazon only game now, something like a charades type game.
Oh yeah, from
Like T-Rex arms or something.
It was
on a scale of 1 to T-Rex.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So the entire collection, all the games that they have released, Exploding Kittens, Bears vs. Babies, You've Got Crabs, on a scale of 1 to T-Rex, and Throw Burrito, which the existence of Throw Burrito crushes my desire to ever review games just a little bit.
Yeah.
What are we even doing here?
That's why you don't want to do it anymore. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Throw Burrito came out, and I was like, no, I can't review games anymore.
No, board games are dead.
Art is dead. God is dead. Board
Yes.
games are dead.
Yeah, so Exploding Kittens isn't going anywhere anytime fast.
And I bet they still kickstart to just get all that hot money straight up front.
Yep.
We'll see.
I mean, they've
really like
full on, like You've Got Crabs was
Yeah.
just a straight release.
Yeah.
the on a scale from 1 as
To
well.
T-Rex
Yeah.
was just a straight up release.
So 2 of their 6.
Throw Burrito.
Throw Burrito was Kickstarter.
Yes.
and
And,
Bears versus Babies was.
And Exploding Kittens.
Yep. I don't know what the
So
sixth
3
one
of
is.
5.
Yeah.
There's not 6.
Yeah.
But I bet there will be a 6th.
I bet
I mean,
the next
and-
one is going to be a Kickstarter.
Did they do and they had a bunch of expansions for Exploding Kittens. Did they do those on Kickstarter?
It's
no,
possible.
those were
Yeah.
all just released.
Yep.
Oh,
see?
No, they were definitely Kickstarter.
Oh.
I distinctly remember those being Kickstarter.
Okay. All right. Well, that's still only Exploding Kittens, so we're only going to count
Yeah.
that as one.
Yes. Haven't seen the You've Got Crabs expansion Kickstarter yet.
Yeah.
I do own that though.
All right.
Cool. So that's it for news with that fat cash from TCG into Exploding Kittens.
we move on to Kickstarters. Our first Kickstarter this week is Roman Roll, a roll and write euro. Quite well funded, 37,000 of its $12,000 goal, over 1,000 backers, and just under 3 weeks left to go, which you can pledge for $37 at its most popular pledge.
Indeed. So this is yet another roll and write, because that designer, Mr. Roland, he's hot right now. So this one, however, actually sounds like it has a lot more game than most roll and write.
It's a 60 to 90 minute game.
Yes,
So.
it's definitely heavier. I like that they went ahead and just are giving, they would be giving you dry erase map board and dry erase character sheet stuff instead of printing a bunch and then people then just turning that into dry erase stuff. It's nice that they're just like, we're not even gonna worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll just get that dry erase.
And they even throw in the dry erase markers. So it's not like, here's some dry erase sheets, go use your own dry erase markers. They include them.
Yeah.
But they don't do that with some roll and writes. They don't give you pencils.
Yeah.
I know. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So Roman Roll is going to be, like Jeff said, 60 to 90 minute game. And plays 1 to 4 players. Comes from the same designers of Anachrony, Dice Settlers, Welcome to Dino World, and Days of Ire, which is kind of a eclectic spread of games. But you're going to be drafting your dice from a pool, like a lot of roll and writes. You're going to be building up the town of Rome, forging political alliances, and working to get colonies going, and even there's like a gods aspect going on there. That all kind of plays together to make this an actual like big game. So a bunch of stretch goals, scrolling past all that, trying to get down here. So here is the dry erase board that you'll be playing on. So as you can see, it's kind of a layout of Rome. Like there's the river, and there's different districts and regions, and you're going to be the different dice you draft determine what you can build, and you put them in different spots of the city and try to build up your own better version of Rome than your opponents. And I didn't see a lot in here about how some of like the alliances and things work. But I don't know, just even already the way they designed that board and everything tells me that this is a much more interactive or much more like thoughtful roll and write than some of the other ones that are just try to fill certain boxes.
Yeah. Meteor.
Yes.
And you own the Welcome to Dino World, right, Zach?
Yes, I do.
That one was pretty good.
I enjoyed it, yes. So
I've not played that one yet.
Neither have I.
Yeah. One of the other things that I forgot to mention here, asymmetric player powers.
Yeah, there's going to be like 7 with all their stretch goals, I think.
Yeah, there's 4 in the base, 7 if they hit all their stretch goals.
Yeah.
Merchants, military leaders. For example, here they say in the Kickstarter, the Legatus allows for more soldiers, while the Mercator's unique powers gather you more resources. So lots of different ways to score points. Constructing buildings, trade resources, conquering colonies, renovating the roads.
Looks neat.
Sounds,
especially for $37.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a lot there.
Yeah. I don't know if I would get bored of a 60 to 90 minute roll and write, though. That is a long time to just be dice drafting.
Yeah.
As like the core gameplay mechanic. So we'll see.
Indeed we will.
Yeah, that's Rome and Roll.
Roman Roll. Next up on Kickstarter, we have Stellar Horizons. Very well funded, 167,000 of, 16.7 thousand of its $5,500 goal, 125 backers, still over 3 weeks left to go. Its only pledge being $119.
I didn't even look at the pledges. I didn't realize it was that expensive.
It is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Because it's 160 plus turn game.
Yeah. So Stellar Horizons is a 1 to 5 player game, 1 to 7 if they hit all their stretch goals, where you take on the roles of different nations, expanding space empires throughout the solar system. It will play out on a time scale of 1 turn equals 1 year, and you play potentially from 2030 till 2169, so 139 turns potentially. They're not very clear. I didn't read through a rule book, so they're not very clear. Like if different scenarios take place in different chunks of that time, or if you just choose a stopping point along that time scale, or if you just play that whole time scale every time.
Seems like there's going to be cooperative and competitive
modes of play,
and it seems like the campaign will be the very long day plus. scenario.
Right. So they do mention that it plays like 1 to 20 hours, depending on what you're trying to play on it, which is kind of crazy. Ton of different components. You'll see here as I kind of scroll through.
They break down all of the planets and stuff into hexes that you lay out on the board with all of its minor moons and stuff around it. So the board isn't like the solar system, but at each scenario you'll have different planets that are important at the time.
But I mean, it can definitely be most of the solar system.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
the example they have here has like at least 4 planets, if not more. That might actually be all 7 planets.
Yeah, 9.
And then
well,
moons.
8 planets.
8 planets. Which, yeah, I guess there probably are the 8 there. I bet that's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. But I don't know what that...
Jupiter, Saturn,
There's
Uranus,
a big weird one in
Neptune.
there.
Neptune?
Neptune.
And then they'll have major asteroid belts. If
Yeah.
anyone has seen The Expanse, a lot of asteroids become major bases because they are nearly as big as planets are and are quite useful.
Correct. But yeah, a whole bunch of different information on them, like re-entry symbols and severe atmosphere symbols, radiation stuff. It seems like this is a scaled down version of High Frontier in some respects. It's like the space exploration without all of the like spaceship construction. But then as I say that, there are a whole bunch of different like various tech trees. Like there's policy trees for how you're progressing politically, massive tech trees in different like regions of technology that meet up in weird places. And then a lot of that stuff when you get down here is further made unique when you get into the factions being different and having asymmetrical abilities and powers. These player boards are not great from a graphic design perspective. There's just a lot of space that you're just going to be filling up with stuff. But so as I mentioned before, 1 turn is 1 year. Each turn, you're going to be going through 6 different phases. Each phase has multiple steps. The only exception being the economic phase, which you're only doing like every 10 turns, starting with the 10th turn. But otherwise, you're doing all of this other stuff every single turn. So I feel like this game might crawl.
They said it could take up to 20 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me is really interested in this, especially because there were aspects of High Frontier I really liked. And that the appeal, I can see the appeal of a space sim board game. But I don't know. This one might be another one that just, I don't know how well developed it actually is. Like from the perspective of, like it might be really sprawling and kind of bizarre and might have really needed some development time and everything to really pare it down to something functional and playable reasonably. Seems like it might be too big and sprawling.
Yeah, and it seems like the scenarios try and clip that down a little bit because they'll have like competitive 2-hour scenarios, competitive 3-hour scenarios, cooperative 30-minute scenarios, and things like that. The rulebook is 28 very dense pages of text.
Oh, wow, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's not a great sign.
But it's all there, and it looks
I bet it is.
vaguely...
Is it 28 pages because it has a bunch of different ones for the different scenarios?
No, the scenarios are only like 1 page. It's a lot of like...
But I mean, are they part of that 28-page rule book?
They are in the... Yes.
So it's at least some of the pages are not just the base rules.
No, but I would say a significant portion of them are.
Interesting.
Let's say 20 pages of that 28.
Great. It's not really getting me too hot there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's Stellar Horizons.
It's a game that will exist.
Yep, it has passed its goals. So feel free to go check that out.
Next up on Kickstarter, we have Search for Planet X. Just funded $16,000 of its $13,000 goal, 422 backers. Just under 2 weeks left, and you can pledge it for $44.
Yeah. So continuing the space theme, we have a game where you're being an astronomer. In this one, you're firmly planted on Earth as an astronomer looking up at the heavens and trying to locate Planet X. So this is a deduction game.
App-based as well.
Yes, heavily app-based. So 2 to 4 players, 60 to 75 minutes. They have here on the Kickstarter this really cool graphic that's like you can click and drag to like show the different components. But it's a big center map that's like all the stars, 4 individual player screens, and this big like player board that you're going to be writing all of your information on. Everyone will use a companion app, so good luck playing this with like, you know, somebody who doesn't own a smartphone. Well, like the guy I met last night who has a flip phone, who's a 30-year-old with a flip phone. It was great. We made a lot of fun of him.
Where did you meet him?
When I went to hang out with the kayakers to play Space Race or Space Team.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Don't bring him to game night. He doesn't deserve game night. Game night is app only.
Yeah. Anyway, so a bunch of stuff comes with the game. It's fairly inexpensive, but keep in mind that like it takes apps. Like, so everybody needs to have a smartphone of some kind. But basically, as you play, you're going to start off and use the app. One person, I guess, will use the app to start the game. And it's going to seed a bunch of random information, or hidden information, rather, kind of setting up the board and everything. Then there are some very set, like predetermined rules for different things, like asteroid fields have to be next to one another, or have to be next to another asteroid field. Comets can only be in prime sectors. Dwarf planets cannot be next to Planet X. Things like that. Then it's going to see all of those different things in the map. And on your turn, you conduct research or make observation. A lot of this you do in the app on the board and on your like little personal player board. And you're trying to take the different clues that other people are kind of giving out based on what they're doing, and pair that with what knowledge you've accrued, and ultimately try to be the first to locate Planet X. So, like, each turn you're taking notes of your findings all the way up until somebody discovers Planet X. Then you go along and you score everything based on what you've inputted into the app. So, like, the first person to have a correct theory about what's in a given sector, 2 to 4 points for each correct theory, and then 2 to 10 points for finding Planet X. I don't know. I'm a little bit leery of all the app integration in this. It seems like most of this game feels like it's being played just on the app, especially when you scroll through the Kickstarter and you look at the different like images they have. It's always like, boom, here's somebody putting stuff into a phone. But then reading through some of the other reviews and stuff, granted, you know, like these are people who are being paid to promote this Kickstarter, obviously, but they're saying, you know, like it helps, you know, and this hits close to home for me, having just had a game of Cryptid ruined because of a mistake in the initial setup. You can't give bad clues. You can't give wrong answers.
Yeah.
Because the app carries a lot of that and make sure that everything is
Which I mean that's what it was with Mansions of Madness 1 versus 2,
yeah.
right?
That was a huge issue in 1, is that a minor mistake by the GM or whatever setting up would ruin entire scenarios.
In its regular 20 to 25 minute setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see the appeal to going very heavily app-based. And you could, I would be shocked if they don't have a pass and play option, so you could play on one device. But maybe not. I mean, I don't know how much you need to see what's happening each round in your app. I don't know how much of it's personalized information.
I would assume all of it.
I mean, personalized per player, like to where you couldn't have a hit next player and then hand the phone to the next person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, the 3D model shows a phone next to everybody. So
yeah,
I feel like it's
yeah,
not something you can just pass and play.
They also, their first
yeah.
stretch goal that hit was increasing it from an 18-inch square to a 20-inch square. I feel like if you didn't need the game board to be bigger, don't just make it bigger arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Like, games already take up a lot of space. Fucking Tapestry. Yeah, don't just make them bigger as a stretch goal, like, because you can. I don't know.
I know this to me seems like a more, at least with how they're describing it and stuff, seems like I would enjoy this one more than Cryptid. But
yes, I could easily see that for you. And there's other stuff that we haven't really touched on, like there's like almost like a, not a Mancala, but like a rondelle. Thank you, May. It's a rondelle.
Oh yeah. Duh.
I know. I
Why
knew there was a term
Why couldn't
for
you
it.
think of it? That's
Because I've been working for 12 hours today. I'm
Oh.
exhausted. Should have seen the bags under my eyes this morning. They're probably still there. A lot of interesting things going on with that one on the Search for Planet X.
all right.
And last up on Kickstarter this week, we have Oathsworn into the millions of dollars. $1.47 million of its $50,000 goal, 8,400 backers, still 3 weeks left to go. Its most popular pledge being $179, but there is also still a $300 pledge that is not very close behind.
Yeah. So this is your ridiculously... I can't even call it the $100 miniature game of the week anymore.
No.
It's
Multiple
your
hundreds.
ridiculously priced miniature game of the week. Oathsworn into the Deepwood is the act.
There is a $100 pledge.
There is a $100 pledge,
but yeah,
which is still very popular with thousands of pledges on it.
All of them have many thousands of pledges.
But yeah, the that one is number 3 with 1,800. The all-in one, which saves you a cool $15 by paying $300, is at almost 2,000, and then at $3,750 for the 180 pledge.
And then there's plenty of Kickstarter exclusive mystery chest giant monster miniatures as well.
Yeah. So the mystery chest does come with that core pledge, the 179.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it will be Kickstarter exclusive.
Yes. So what is Oathsworn into the Deepwood? That's a great question that I'm not sure I know even after reading over this thing like 3 times.
It is a 1 to 4 player 30 to 60 minute story, 90 to 120 minute encounter thing.
Exactly. It's a
45 hour, 15 chapter campaign.
It's a grand 1 to 4 player dark fantasy board game with epic stories, brand new mechanics, and giant monsters. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about this game.
It is also an artisanal cooperative experience for 1 to 4 players. Fucking artisanal? What the shit?
Is it bespoke? I would really want it to be bespoke.
So it has a double-sided encounter board. It kind of reminded me of Kingdom Death.
Yes.
In like how the combat's working out, but with like bigger parties and bigger parties because the monsters are just as big, if not smaller.
Yeah, no, I get that.
A lot of custom dice and tokens and cards. There is like secret maps in the game, a big spiral storybook. It's going to have a fully narrated campaign app.
And not just fully narrated by the freaking actor who played Barristan Selmy in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great voice
That
to
is
have narrate
yeah.
your board game at.
Yeah.
Its races are more weird, I guess. There's like a bear,
little bit, yeah.
bear person.
Yeah, there's a
and
giant
things.
bear guy, Ursus.
Yeah. They say you can kind of customize your heroes however you want. I assume it's just going to have a bunch of different arms, but once you glue them on there, that's there.
They're not.
Oh, they're
glued.
like peg.
They talk about that they're very like custom fit, push together, pull apart.
That would be hard to paint without some pretty heavy varnish on there to keep them from chipping.
Yeah. Don't know.
And it's I mean, they have GIFs to be like, hey, here's how something works. But it doesn't give you a lot of context for like
It gives you almost no context.
For the combat, it looks like you roll dice, and then the rolling dice lets you flip over cards that have values on them, and then that's like sort of what it reminds me a bit of Cones of Dunshire. Roll the dice to see how many dice you roll.
Is this 40K?
Yeah, right. And it has something like this battle flow system, but it's just playing cards, and cards are moving around the board
with no
your own thing. So it's which that doesn't. And then there's also a tracker about regenning whatever the amber looking things are.
Yeah.
I do know that number 6 means that you regen 6 of them, and that's about it.
Because you can see 6 slide back.
Exactly.
Yeah, these GIFs are not helpful at all.
Is the polystyrene the same stuff Reaper uses?
I don't know for sure.
Many things.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Because they make it sound like it's way more high quality than the stuff Reapers are made out of.
Yeah.
The Reaper stuff is very soft.
Bendy.
Yeah, I was having a really hard time, and I don't think so because they definitely brag on it wherever it was. I don't remember where in this Kickstarter. I looked through this. It's all right here. The HIPS, the high impact polystyrene. They say no glue, no sprues, push fit design, which does not apply to Reaper in any way, shape, or form. It's covered in sprues. It's not push fit. Like, I'm pretty sure some of my minis I put together are not in the right configuration, but that's just the way they ended up super gluing together because things wouldn't stay in place. Like, I was starting to super glue my fingers to things. Not cut out for making my own minis. Or assembling my own minis, rather.
It seems like this whole game will be Kickstarter exclusive.
I would not be surprised.
Not just that mystery box and stuff.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Because they at some point they make a point of saying the mystery box is Kickstarter exclusive.
It might be, but once we finish fulfilling the Kickstarter, we will have a limited number of games left over from the Kickstarter print run, so we will retain the right to make those available through our web store and at conventions, as otherwise they would just go to waste. So it sounds like it is purely a Kickstarter-only game.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
This is one of the games that's in a big pile of games that's I don't want to own it.
I hope somebody does.
I hope somebody does. Or if someone just decided to buy this for me, then that'd be great, right?
Right.
But I don't want to pay money for this.
Yeah. Somebody give me $300, please.
Yeah.
Now.
It's a 35-pound all-in pledge.
Yeah. I mean, some of these things like the add-ons, like the map pack add-on, like those maps look fantastic. The metal coins look like really nice metal coins. I know some people just don't care about metal coins at all. Like it's got some cool stuff going on, like component-wise, but I'm not sure there's even a game here.
So who did you say was the...
I thought it was Barristan Selmy.
Is Commander Mormont from...
Even better.
Yeah, okay.
From the...
I knew it was one of the old gruff guys.
Yes.
Which Game of Thrones had a lot of.
The old Lord Commander.
Yep.
Okay. One of the other kind of cool things that it does that I'm interested to see how it plays out, like, so we've referenced this mystery box that they said is for sure a Kickstarter exclusive. Basically, like, a lot of the minis in the game, they're not even showing on the Kickstarter because you get them in this mystery box that until you open it and pull out the mini, you won't even know what you're fighting. It'll be like, for this fight, open box 5. And you open box 5 and you're like, holy shit, we're fighting this crazy weird mini. They do have, I'm not going to click it on the stream because I don't want to spoil it, but they have a section. If you want to go to the Kickstarter, you can click on the window and you can see what's inside the box. What's in the box?
Great Brad Pitt.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I forgot what tone.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? But yeah.
It seems like it's going to
Oathsworn.
have easy, like, swap in, swap out for campaigns for new characters because it's all app-based, like character sheets and stuff.
Yep.
But the only way you can learn how to actually play this game is by clicking into the videos.
Yep, which Adrian just does not want to do.
No.
I refuse to watch videos on Kickstarters.
Yeah.
It's a personal flaw of mine.
I do like here is like a little solving problems, little like thread thing. It's like, is someone not interested in the game? Then here's how you can just have them leave. If someone just showed up here, how you can get them just like up to your quick level them. Not a lot of time. You can just like each of the chapters can be split into multiple things. Not into the story. Here's just a little blah, and then go into combat. Setup time using our quick save bads, card organizers, and carefully arranged custom trays. We are cutting setup time to just minutes, which is always appreciative.
Yeah. I mean, turning Gloomhaven into mostly app-based, Kingdom Death into mostly app-based has been significantly
beneficial.
Oh yeah,
beneficial for time spent.
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Yep. But yeah, so that's Oathsworn Into the Deepwood, your multiple hundreds of dollars miniature game.
This is their first Kickstarter,
which is also another red flag.
Who these people are? They might have people from other games, but I did not see that anywhere in
the account's at least been around for a while. They've backed 26 games themselves.
It's their first created.
But it's their first created, which is a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oathsworn Into the Deepwood, if you want to go check out all of the stuff over in that Kickstarter and watch some of the videos and maybe see if you can figure out how to actually play the game, because we were unable to.
Yep.
Cool. That wraps up news and Kickstarters.
Yep.
Which brings us over to some listener feedback. Unfortunately, we're not starting with emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Because there are no emails.
Nope.
Wah, wah, wah.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah. However, there are some BGG posts.
Just the one, but yes.
There is at least a response somewhere on BGG
that
I'm
correct.
Sure Zach has ready and waiting.
I do. This is from episode 161 and an unfair live stream. And this is from Let Them Eat Cardboard. Damn, it's like you three want me to hate you. Zach doesn't like Lord of the Rings. Jeff had never seen The Shining. And Adrian likes Nickelback. I guess Jeff is the only salvageable one since he at least corrected his sin. Zach can still reconsider. I won't reconsider that.
Zach had also not seen The Shining.
That's true.
So we have both corrected
We
that.
both corrected that part, yeah. But no, I'm willing to die on that. I don't give a shit about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no hope for you, Adrian. Sorry.
No.
You know what's really bullshit about this entire statement here is this is an elaborate, like if you read that statement, that first statement about Jeff not having seen Shining, you not liking Lord of the Rings, and me liking it. That's definitely you're playing the game two truths and a lie. And the one person who is still getting shit on at the end of this game is the person who the statement is a lie.
I mean, I don't think it's a lie that Zach doesn't like.
Yeah, I think
Lord
that's
of the Rings.
very much true.
I think that's true, though.
Yeah,
right.
So I think,
but Zach's not getting shit on at the end of this.
I mean, it sounds like he is.
Because it says
irredeemable.
Jeff is salvageable once he's corrected his sin. Zach can still reconsider.
He won't.
There's no hope for Adrian.
Yeah.
The only one there's no hope for is the one where the original statement is a goddamn lie.
I do still figure there is no hope for your Nickelback obsession.
Yeah, because I'm not obsessed with Nickelback.
I mean,
Recognizing the problem is step one.
Yeah, and I feel like such intense denial usually means that there's.
You've admitted of multiple Nickelback album ownerships.
I admitted that yes, when I was a teenager in high school, I owned 2 Nickelback albums.
Jeff, did you ever own?
No,
I'd never owned one either. So therefore, you are the Nickelback lover.
Sure, there's a lot of albums I've owned that neither of you have owned.
And hopefully that will stay the same, especially if it's with Nickelback.
I went through some very questionable music choices. And
I
let's not forget, when Nickelback first came around, nobody was aware what giant douchebags they did.
I was still in the oh man, these guys suck. There was a social contract of why people should be famous, and the record companies were like, no, they're famous. You love them all now, right? Yeah. And you were like, yes.
I mean, a lot of people did.
Yeah, I think they had the number 1 selling album of that decade.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
They have sold so many albums. Yeah. It's stupid.
And that means at least 2 people bought them. Adrian bought the millions, and then at least one other person got one.
A used garage sale.
If I had the money to buy millions of Nickelback albums, I would just start my own shittier version of Nickelback. And actually, that might be hard, because I bet I can sing at least as good as Chad Kroeger, which is not good at all.
I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This joke has gone too far. I confided in Jeff an embarrassing secret of my childhood. My childhood.
Yeah, that was your mistake.
And he just put it out there for all the world to see.
Yes.
I unfriended my grandpa from Facebook for doing that shit.
For sitting on Nickelback?
No, for exposing my secrets. Trust has been violated.
Do you know what secrets he's talking about that his grandpa leaked?
No.
Grandpa leaked?
No.
Now I'm going to figure that out.
Good luck, because I scrubbed him from my life. His were actually much, much more personal and, serious than I once owned Nickelback albums.
I don't know which is more severe.
I mean, the first thing I can remember really, really liking and owning was a cassette of Achy Breaky Heart.
My dad listened to that.
My mom listened to that.
Yeah. I really, really, really was in, Mr. Billy Ray Cyrus.
It was elementary school.
It was definitely elementary school.
Yeah.
I also, for longer than I care to admit, liked Limp Bizkit. So, like I said, very questionable.
A movie.
He's directed 3 movies.
His most recent one was with John Travolta.
Yep.
And it was a Redbox movie.
What was it?
The Fanatic.
Yeah.
It was hot garbage.
Yes. I don't remember if we were talking about it on here or not, but it was John Travolta trying to have every mental illness imaginable.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Be a super toxic fan, and it was not.
Yeah. And it was not. It got super gory at the end, too.
And it also had Devin Sawa, too, which I haven't seen since Final Destination / Idle Hands.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to John Travolta? He used to be in good movies.
He went more crazy, and that was that.
Well, just hiding his hair loss for so long probably drove him insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, we're not going to keep going down this tangent.
Well, I have a different tangent to go down.
Oh, God.
I did watch El Camino, and it was good.
Okay.
If
That
you've
should have
seen-
been in Banter.
Yeah. If you've seen Breaking Bad, you should watch El Camino
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like, hey, 6 years later and everyone gained 30 pounds, but now here's that like epilogue.
Oh, it takes place 6 years later?
No, it is.
Oh.
But
It still takes place in 2013 when
Yeah.
the show ended.
Okay.
But 6 years and 40 pounds has passed through everyone that is an actor
Yeah.
or was an actor on that show.
I mean, to be fair, like a lot of heavy stuff happened then. They just like you see all of the emotion that they had.
yeah.
I've
and
heard. I've heard.
Aaron Paul did a very good job.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that it is good but unnecessary.
I mean, everything I feel that has come out since Breaking Bad ended has been unnecessary.
Better
Like
Call
in the
Saul is very
world?
good.
Yes. Like, even better. Like, yeah, it's good, but so is this outcome. But they're still unnecessary. Breaking Bad was great and would have been great if there was never anything else connected to Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad continues to still be good, whether this exists or not.
Yeah.
Also true,
But this does exist and is very good.
which is fair.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change whether it was necessary or not.
Nothing is necessary then.
That's true.
Oh,
That's very true.
No.
Yeah.
All those Star Wars sequels
Nope.
certainly were not necessary.
Definitely not. Definitely not. In fact, those may have harmed the originals more than they helped. Anyway,
I do have to say there is some story moments in there that you see that add more to even the original show.
That's good.
Anyhow, let's continue with listener feedback. Moving on over to YouTube in Paulo's Corner, where we have 2 comments at least. Maybe 3. I don't know. First up, from M on the list episode, Top 10 Games We Should Have Played. M says, games I own and haven't played. Battlestar Galactica, Black Orchestra, Risk, Thunderstorm, Quest, Rising Sun, Root Pandemic, State of Emergency Expansion, Pandemic State of Emergency Expansion,
There you go.
Netrunner, Honorable Mention, Game of Thrones. First punctuation of the entire comment so far. Played it once many years ago. Own everything for it. Gloomhaven, played maybe 2 scenarios. Group fail, time stories. Very interesting choice of punctuation in that comment, M. It fucked with my brain.
Most of those games I have played, and they're all pretty okay.
A lot of good games in there. Also over in Paulo's Corner, again from M, on episode 162, Hyena Meet and Greet, which got a really weird title in a few places. The and showed up as and amp.
A lot of
Don't parse
things
that
don't
right.
know how to put in an ampersand.
Yeah.
But anyway, he comments, once again, great artwork.
It was very good.
Yeah, so people who haven't noticed this yet, for a while now, Zach has been doing custom versions of our logo for the Wednesday episodes.
Yes.
Based
on the titles.
on the titles. And they are fantastic. They continue, in some ways, they continue to just get better as Zach gets more and more experienced doing this.
This is a bunch of people cheering on a man with a briefcase running away from hyenas.
Yep. You know what's funny through that? You can find, like, there are, first of all, stock photos. Amazing. There are so many businessmen business people in business clothes running scared. And what was great is one guy was running like a robot. That's
like a cactuar.
Yeah, it was hilarious. No, and that one I was just looking for like rich people cheering because it's supposed to be rich people cheering as like a poor person gets eaten, but it was hard to I couldn't type poor people running and anything
not have a war crime happening in the background.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't want anybody to be like, yeah, this person, didn't make it after.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't even remember. The best thing for me with these is just trying to remember what the reference was. I do not remember ever mentioning anything about a hyena meet and greet.
It was the Do at the Zoo, where you could you could get a free ticket to the hyena meet and greet because all the people that paid for tickets would be watching you fight hyenas.
Yes. Yeah.
Somehow I missed that entire section of that discussion. I remember
right at the beginning.
I remember I remember talking about Do at the Zoo for longer than was probably necessary.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
As is the case with almost everything we do.
And our wristband shenanigans.
Yeah.
But I did not remember the hyena meet and greet.
Yep.
So, yeah. that's it for listener feedback. So thanks everybody who submitted comments on BGG and YouTube. Jeff's still very sad that there's no emails.
Emails.
If you want to get a hold of us, there are multiple ways to do so. You can send us emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can find us over on Twitter, where I tweet under @MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
I am Jeff_MHGG.
We have Facebook and Instagram, both /MileHighGameGuys. Jeff has been reviving the Instagram.
I am getting a lot of likes on Instagram.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Well, that's because all of those people that followed us with no posts for 2 years, they're like, oh, God, they're actually posting stuff?
Holy shit, Mile High Game Guys exists. We also have our BGG guild number 2731, where Zach does weekly posts for the episode and whatever game we are streaming. This Friday, we will be streaming Downfall. That's what's on the calendar.
Okay.
It's what's on the calendar.
Okay.
That's the plan.
All right.
Subject to change. Because let's be honest, it's us.
Yeah.
You would expect nothing different. But yeah, we are planning on doing Downfall.
Downfall was fun.
Yeah. Getting some more plays in that leading up to a review. There will be coming reviews sometime in the next few weeks of both War of the Worlds, The New Wave from our sponsors, Grey Fox Games, as well as an actual review of Tapestry. I'm also trying to work some scheduling in for Megan and I to do one more stream of Tapestry, 2-player with the Automa.
Automa or the Shadow Empire?
Shadow Empire.
Yeah.
Is there a separate Automa?
Yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think that's only for solo?
I think you can do it in 2-player as
Okay.
well.
Oh.
I think. Usually his Automas can be 1 or 2-player.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, definitely the Shadow Empire.
Yeah.
Maybe Automa. I don't know. I need to look through the rules and see what all's in all of those things.
And from our plays, it seems like the 3-player side of the map is the best.
Yeah.
But I want to do another stream of that one, because I've been having a weird amount of fun with Tapestry. And 2, because the Tapestry stream was the last stream we did before I realized that we were streaming everything at 400
Instead of
bits
4,400.
instead of 4,500 bits. So it was real fuzzy.
That's a lot of bits.
Yeah. So some of those, kind of want to revisit some of those games, and actually do a better stream now that our quality's up a bit. But yeah, so you can watch streams of all of those different things that I just mentioned over on our Twitch channel, which some of you are watching us right now. That's twitch.tv/MHGameGuys. You can also jump over to our website, milehighgameguys.com, where there's links to things like the Twitch channel, the BGG Guild, as well as a link to join our Slack channel, which is a Slack channel full of a little over 100 awesome nerds of all different flavors who have a bunch of great different chats about all kinds of different things. Jeff was spoiling Formula One for Ofer. There's random sports talk, board game talk. There's an entire snowboard channel, snow sports channel, snow channel, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, 3D printing, things like that. All kinds of different chats going on over in Slack. So feel free to join there and participate. We're always looking for more people to chit chat with us. Help me waste time at work. Yeah, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but that's most of the main ways to get in touch with us. Which I think wraps up pretty much all of the episode. As always, we would like to thank our sponsors on these Wednesday episodes, Grey Fox Games. Their latest Kickstarter not their latest Kickstarter, their latest delivering Kickstarter,
Yes.
War of the Worlds, The New Wave, should be showing up in backers' hands
Last week.
Pretty much, yeah. If you haven't gotten it, you should start maybe sending them some emails.
But retail right now.
Also, yes, available at retail. And they just wrapped up a couple weeks ago their most recent Kickstarter,
Yes.
which should hopefully be coming
After the
to,
Empire.
Yeah.
Which you can still pre-order, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Pre-orders
And then-
available, greyfoxgames.com.
Reavers will be in stores pretty soon,
Very
too.
soon as well.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff coming from Grey Fox Games. So, Jeff, do you have a prepared statement regarding our sponsors?
Of course. Grey Fox Games, quality games, cleverly crafted. Also, I am Lightning, the rain transformed.
Is lightning's not it?
We're not here to make sense of them.
All right. That wraps up the episode. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody who joined us over on the live stream. I think we averaged a constant 6 viewers this time. That's a record high.
Wow.
Like, just it was constant.
We get much more listeners than that.
Yes.
Oh,
However-
yes, much. Which is why some of you listeners should come enjoy the streams. You get a behind-the-scenes look.
Yeah.
That's true.
There are things that are on the streams that get edited out of the podcast because time reasons and other reasons. So, but yeah, thanks everybody who watched. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to all of our fans. Huge thanks to all of our supporters over on Patreon. They've made all of these recent transitions to the new studio, to video, to streaming. All of that has been possible thanks to their support. We super appreciate that. Also, thanks, same reason, to our sponsors. They've been a key contributor to getting us there. But really, thank you to all our fans. You're the reason we do this. It's been super, super awesome.
What about our Twitch backers too?
And our Twitch subscribers they're new to the support.
Yes.
They're bringing the next phase.
Exactly.
I don't know what that is quite yet, but it's coming. Something.
Yeah.
Just vague and ominous in the distance. The long-term future of Mile High Game Guys. But yeah, that wraps it up. As always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm left hand and my right hand, Jeff.
Bye.
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 Where we all
Bring something
to the table.
pull up a chair
At punchboardmedia.com.